Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to welcome everybody here today. I'd like to welcome the people who are socially distanced. We can fit about 12 people upstairs. Those of you that are online, we are glad you have joined the live stream with us. And I'd especially like to welcome Kelsey, her family, and her friends. As most of you know, this piece came to be for tragic reasons, but I can promise you that Brian has written an amazing piece, a heartfelt piece, and you are really in for a treat today. It's been our pleasure and our honor here with the James Madison University Wind Symphony to prepare this music for you today. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce the composer, Brian Balmages.
Thank you. Thank you. Fortunately, the forces that be have given me permission to do this without a mask because I'm fully vaccinated, in hopes that everybody will be able to see a little bit more of the emotion behind a lot of these lines. What I love about this is that I came to JMU a very long time ago, not that long ago, I guess. And one of the reasons people ask me, why'd you go to JMU and not go to Eastman or Juilliard? And one of the reasons why is because of this family of JMU, and it just felt like a family, and it's been a family forever. And now here we gather as a family once again for one of our own. And so I'm really much looking forward to this. With that being said, I'd like to dive in. And you can taper a little bit on that. There. Okay, really nice. I wanted to make sure I had just a chance to kind of hear a little bit of everybody right there. Let's just talk about a few things. Really nice overall, folks. Thank you. You're going to notice that going into measure 18, slightly before that, I am choosing to move forward there just a little bit. So if you just be aware of that. Right around 17 and saxophones, they're going to be the primary vehicle for that to happen. And then horns, if you can catch the tempo from the saxophones when we have that. If you notice in the very beginning with all these fermatas, I would love for us to all taper them a little bit more into the silence. I feel like the silence is rather abrupt. And if we can kind of musically arrive at those silences a little bit more, that would be great. Can we do that one more time? And I don't think we need to go all the way back just for time's sake. But can we start, please, in 1, 2, 3, 4, measure 5. So right after the second fermata, please. Here we are. Measure 5. Here. That's better. Just one small thing, really nice. Where's my principal horn? I know there you are. Okay, so I'm looking over here. I'll make sure that I got you there. I'll make sure that we're really clear on that. You're the only entrance except for the English horn, so you can actually catch your cue from the English horn, and that'll be fine right there. Thank you. Can we please start? This is right at measure 8. It'll be fine. Now watch right here. Excellent, excellent. So my only other thing is make sure with breath, right, that we're all locking into the release right at 26. We were a little bit uneven on the releases there. So bassoons, it's really bassoons, all of my altos, all 2 of you. So bassoons, altos, and English horn. If we can really lock that in so that when you release, the only thing we should hear right there is flute and oboe. Really, really nice. Horns, because of the room, and I heard this in the recording also, at the 4-4, right when you were marked forte, can there just be a little bit more separation? Deem, bum, ba, just a little bit more, especially after the 8th note. Right? Excellent. Can we start right at 18? That transition into 18 felt wonderful to me. Okay? Thank you. Can we get a little bit more flutes on the F sharp? Dee-do, right? It's the F sharp that needs to come out. It's all of this descending interval of a 4th. That's what we're trying to, that's the story we're telling right now. Here's right at 18, please. Here. Not too much there. Excellent. At 34, if we need to recover with tempo, we'll do it right there and make sure that we're moving forward just a little bit. It felt just the tiniest bit slow to me, all right? And so I'll make sure that I do a really good job of getting that tempo more established. Folks, at 26, I love the phrasing that we're doing there. To my ear, it sounds like we're over-phrasing that just a little bit. So if we can just be a little bit more sensitive to just the one dynamic level, that'd be great. Can we start, please, in the measure before 26, just to make sure that we're all, again, finding that release? That felt much more comfortable, and I can tell you what happened. A lot of you are seeing that beat 4, right? So there's a pickup note into measure 24 and another pickup note into measure 26, and some of you are misinterpreting that almost as a downbeat. So just make sure, and I'll make sure that I'm clear with where those downbeats are. Can we start, please? 2 before 26 is fine. Here. Not too much here. Come out a little bit. Especially the lower note. You can wait until you're past that lower note to do the diminuendo. So what you all need to think about is really this is one long crescendo all the way into 46. Even though it's kind of marked in a terrace sort of way, it's really just one long crescendo. So don't even worry so much about the dynamics other than worrying about the fact that you're getting to a very angry place at 46, right? So be aware of that. And so trumpets, wherever we wind up at that forte, if it's not a true forte, that's okay, as long as we get to that moment. And now that I'm in the hall, of course, things are changing just a little bit. Can we go right at 34? Can you all feel the tempo wanting to pull back? If anything, right, this is a moment of anxiety. It's a moment of anxiety and just anger. And if anything, it's going to go the other way. It's going to move, right? All right, here's 34. Here. Here's there, thank you. A little bit more horn 3 and 4. Yeah, and so I'm not going to do much. Just I'm going to try to stay out of your way. Okay. All right? Awesome. So yeah, and the only thing I'm going to make a comment about, we don't need to go back and do it, but percussion, if you can just be aware, after that section that we just finished at 62, if you noticed, not the very last measure, but the end of the big pattern that we were just doing, notice that those last 4 or so notes are accented. So you can just, yeah, just a little bit more right there to kind of make that whole, right? That's where we're going with that. Excellent. Excellent. Can we please start? Does everybody feel comfortable with that? I know we had a couple small things. Can we start, please, for my sake? All right. Can we go before 62? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Measure 6 before that, which is measure 56. Got the A-list double reads. I love it. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 before 62, which is measure 56. Ready? Here. little bit more there. Good. Can we stop right there? So just a couple small things. First of all, let's see here. Clarinet 2 and 3 and bassoon. After 85, 1, 2, 3, 4, that fifth measure, can you lean into the whole note just a little bit more than you did that time? That would be wonderful. Excellent, excellent. I can also use just a tiny bit more of flutes and piccolo at 85. I married a flute player, so I always have to say that in every rehearsal at least one time. Okay, thank you. All right, so we go 2 before 85 will be fine. All right, that was really nice. I think that really works really quite well. All right, here's 2 before 85, so the measure before the 5-4. All right, 83. Percussion, if you could do a little diminuendo into 109. Let's not push the tempo there. This was one of the big question marks, was how would 118 go if I started to kind of go into 1, and you guys are doing just fine with that, right? And it's meant to feel unstable yet unexplainably secure. That's the best way I could probably say it. And I think we're achieving that. So I'm pretty good with that. I would love to have just a tiny bit more of the crotales there, okay? So that would be great. The only comment that I have is going into 118 between alto 1 and clarinet 2. So alto 1 and clarinet 2, correct? Yeah, as much as you guys can try to sound like almost the exact same instrument and the exact same volume, and just make sure that we're passing that off. The timing was much better that time. So can we go right at 109? Perfect. 109. And a little more horn 3 and 4 there as well. Yeah, so that was much better. I felt like the first one you wanted to be slightly behind me, and then you realized it and you jumped right on, which was perfect. Let's just do that one more time at 109. I'll tell you, when I was here, I always talk about how I wish I had this hall, but I kind of also wish I was in this band. You guys are great. 109. 109. And something that I'm going to do no matter what, right? And you can see we're trying to figure each other out right now, which is completely fine. You'll notice there are some times when I'm trying to give you 2 and sometimes I'm going into 3. I'm going to give you whatever I think that you need. And in the pickup into 133, right? In 133, that will be in 2. So when you're looking at measure 132, you're all going to see, and triplet people, the people that are still in 3/4, you guys can ignore me, all right? I'm a trumpet player, so I'm used to ignoring the conductor anyway. So you all can ignore me. But for those of you that have those duplet pickups, right, and most of my woodwinds and trombones and trumpets, you'll see 1, bum, bum, beam, bum, right, and then we'll be back into the 1. But I will give you beat 2 if that was a 6/8 measure of 132. All right, excellent. Can we go right at 118? Horns, I may stay in 3 just for a little bit at 118 because I feel like the first 3 measures you want to pull back just a little bit. So I may stay in 3 for a little bit just to get you comfortable, and then I'll just kind of flirt with going back and forward. All right. Here's the measure before 118 just to get into that, please. Okay, right on the 12/8. Ready? Excellent. So at 134, bassoons, trombone 1, 2, and euphonium. Can we bring that out? Right? Dom, bom, ba, dee, dim, dom, bom, ba, dee, dee. Right? And a little bit of space there, but that can definitely come out just a little bit. Does that feel comfortable for everybody? All right, felt a little bit better to me. Let's do it one more time just to make sure that we've got that down. 117. Ready? A little more crescendo there, bassoons. Awesome. Yeah, just one thing. Make sure you watch me on that in the contra for that 2/4 bar. Just make sure you're watching me on that so we have that arrival point. Fantastic. So really 144 and 145 to me are just kind of, there's not much to conduct there. So I'll just kind of be chilling out for a while and then at 146. And I'll turn the other way this time. I realize I can't stretch that far. So, all right. So let's go ahead and start right at 146. I did the Alabama All-State Band last weekend, and they were in surround sound. That kind of prepared me, but not really. All right, here we go. 146. sure you're watching my time here. I could even be a little bit more. Yeah, so just one small thing here. One small thing. If I can make let's see. Bassoons, you have it at 166, and you also have it a little bit after 157. This chromatic thing going on. Tenor and bari, you're going to have it as well as horn. If we can bring out the dissonance a little bit more, I think we're trying to shy away from it, but actually, if anything, we want to play into it. All right, and let that feel just a little bit more uncomfortable for a moment. Here's right at 157, please. Here. A little more here. A little more to alto 2. Yeah, so this starts in the bassoon at 166, right? But then all this dee, 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 that's got to be this it's just a very unsettling feeling, all right? And so we really need to make sure that we bring that out. We really, really need to bring that out. By the time we get to the tenor and bari adding into that with the horn, then it really starts to, again, embrace those dissonant moments, right? Every time you're on that concert D flat, that's the note to bring out. All right, excellent. Can we start, please, before... Actually, we can start right on 166. That felt much better. Everybody felt pretty good about that? Thank you. Here we are, right at 166, right on it. Here. And flutes, you can start to add here. Come on. Here we go. Small things here. Altos, you can bring out the forte, right? Let's see, well, alto 2 has it, but 2 measures before 172, right? That can come out just a little bit more as well, all right? Yeah, and then the other big thing here is oboes, don't shy away from it. English horn, don't shy away from it. Again, 171 and 170, they grind, right? And I think you're all trying so hard to balance it. Sometimes life doesn't have any balance. I learned that from David Maslenka. Sometimes there's just not balance. Right? And I think this is one of those times. All right, 166, this time going on. I haven't decided if I'm going to give you those eighth notes, brass players, before 171. Hopefully, by the time we perform it, I'll have figured that out. All right, 166. Here. Here we go. The sound is there. The sound is completely there. Make sure, though, in the transition to those notes, it wants to pull back just ever so slightly. So just be aware of that. Don't change the style. Don't change anything of what you're doing. Just make sure that it keeps moving forward. Euphoniums and tenor sax, if you don't mind, of course you don't mind. At 176, you can bring in that boom, ba ba boom. That can come out just a little bit more. It's one of these little moments of heroic, right, that we want to make sure that we're spotlighting. Okay? So I am going to subdivide the 8th note for you, okay? Until I don't. All right? Excellent. Here we are. Can we start measure before 170? We'll just pick up into 172. If you're on beat 1, don't worry about it. This is just beat 2 of measure 171. Here it is. And 1. Let's have a better start. So I mentioned in the recording that I wanted to go a little bit slower, but now you want to really pull me back, right? And it's your chops, not mine. I can do this all day long, right? Don't worry about it. But just let me move just a little bit there. And percussion, you're starting to catch my drift right there. Yeah, the metallic sounds, let them ring. It's like almost like a sensory overload of church bells, positive bells, wind chimes. It's just all these beautiful sounds of nature and sounds of peace, and all of this just overwhelming you for a moment, but in a good way. All right, that's what we want to have happen. Can we do that pickup one more time, please? This is the measure before 172 on beat 2. Ready? Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely going to take my time there. A couple things. Right? I think I pulled like 10 muscles. A couple small things. All right, first of all, wow. All right, I hope the live stream sounds anything like what it just did in here, because it just sounds glorious. I mean, it's almost like the walls are shaking to contain your sound, which on a part is pretty magnificent. A couple small things. First of all, you all, bless your hearts, want to go even slower than I do. I feel like I put a bug in your head at 172 that I'm going to move a little slower. And so you're like, fine, we'll see your challenge, okay? Congratulations, you won. You're slower than I am now. All right, and my main culprits, all right, horns kind of took care of it for the most part. Trumpets, you want to pull back just a little bit on the eighth notes, and trombones, only on the eighth notes. Those are the ones that are getting you just a little bit. Can we very quickly, all right, I want to bring the volume way down at 172. I'm not doing this for balance. I'm not doing it for anything other than for time. Okay, so everybody can relax, and mezzo forte is all I need. I just want to do it for time so that you're comfortable with this. Here's 172. 172? Let's do the pickup, I'm sorry. All right, here it is. And... right here, there it is. Okay, so that felt much better to me, all right? So when we do that, if you can just be aware of the time issue. If you need to mark something in your music, that's fine to do that as well. Horns, I love at 179. You really took me to heart when I asked you on that beat 1. Make sure that beat 1 of measure 179 does not come across almost as a bell tone. To me, it almost sounded like a forte piano where you really hit it, but then it kind of came back a little bit. If you can just stick it right there and just stay on it, that would be great. You know, it's almost a joke, but I'm going to say it anyway. Piccolo and flute 1 at 180, you're not going to overplay that. You can try. All right? I welcome you to try. You won't overplay it, all right? But we can definitely have more of that because it's you and metallic percussion. So definitely bring that out, all right? Excellent. And then I felt like the transition after 190 was really, really nice, all right? We have about 5 minutes, and what I would like to do is just make sure that everybody's comfortable with the end. Just to be clear, a couple things here. Again, dynamics are so imperfect. They're amazingly imperfect, and we use them because we really have nothing else to use. But what I want you to think about is once we get past the big moment at 190, each one of these entrances, flutes, clarinets, there's 3 of them, right? One of them is sort of like a mezzo piano, one's at a piano, one's a pianissimo. The most important thing is that each one is just a little bit more distant, right? Each one's just a little bit more soft. And metaphorically, all right, when we talk about what are we getting at with each one being more distant, it really is one of these moments where that's going to mean something different to everybody who hears this. Right? For a lot of people, it's a moment of arriving at peace, right? For other people, it's a different thing. We allow them to choose their own story, right? But we have to show them what it sounds like. We're providing them the soundtrack to that story. And so that's the one thing that I would like to take a quick look at. And then if we have a chance, I'll jump right back into that 3/4 before we take a quick break. Let you guys rest your chops, air out the hall, and then we'll come back and do the whole thing. Can we please start at 190, taking it again, let's take it easy on chops right now. I'm not really doing 190 for anything other than to get us into the 5th measure. Take your time there. I want to point out 2 things. Horns, make sure that when we get back into tempo, it was pretty good. Trombones, make sure, especially trombone 2, you're watching me on beat 3. Boom, boom, beat, right? So just be aware of that, okay? Great. Hey, trombone 1, do you have a pencil? Okay, see, I'm married a flute player because flute players always have pencils, don't they? See, all of them. Well, I'll tell you on the break. I'll catch you on the break, and we're going to make a note change. Oh, you want to make it now? Okay, we can do that. Okay. Life lesson. Wow, I should always have a pencil so that when the composer of the piece I'm playing has it. Oh yeah, what happened? At 191, beat 4, you have an E flat quarter notes, correct? I would like to change that to 2 eighth notes. The first eighth note is going to be a B flat. And then the last eighth note will be the E flat. So that measure will be 1, 2, boom, 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 G, A flat, B flat, E flat. This is 191. 191. Oh, wait a minute, you don't have that. So on beat 4, just kidding, beat 4, instead of the E flat, you're going to have 2 eighth notes now, a B flat and an E flat. Awesome. When you're able to, years down the road, find a flute player and hug her and thank you. Say thank you, okay? Here's 190, please. Or a piccolo player. 190, right on it. Take it easy on the chops, please. Ready, and a little bit more clarinet too there. And this is a great place to take in a big one, yeah. Yep, and then I'll give you the one more, but it'll be slow. So the 2 and the 1, that's for him. And I'll show him, and then that'll be the last one. And if that happens, that's perfect. What you just did was absolutely perfect, okay? Great, can we go backward, please? We have about 30 seconds. How about that? Time, where have you gone? All right, can we please just go into 118? I want to make sure you all are feeling pretty comfortable with that. That was the one place that I still feel like just wants to be cared for. So can we go in the measure before 118? Again, take it easy on chops right now, but let's be aware of time, right? Let's make it efficient with time. Here we are at 117, please. I lied, 109. Let's make that transition. 109, please. I'm sorry. Here and so you're all picking that up. That's what I wanted to make sure is 135, 136, you're all picking up that beat too. I'm kind of shifting into 2 permanently right there. You've all picked it up for me twice now. All right, any questions from any of you before we take a quick break? All right. Okay, excellent. So we are going to take, for those of you on the live stream, we're going to take about a 5 or 10 minute break-ish.
We'll start up at 5:45.
So at 5:45, so roughly 12, 13 minutes from now, we will come back. We'll present the entire piece at that time. Kelsey, I hope we're doing it justice. I know you're listening. I've been in touch with her earlier today. She's really excited. She loves the double reeds. I love the double reeds. And I love trumpet too, because I play trumpet. Right? I don't know. We have to say that. Take a break. See you guys in a bit. Thank you. Although my favorite Kelsey, everybody watching, I know even right now there's hundreds of you, and it's going to continue to grow. Kelsey, you've touched the lives of more people than I could have ever possibly imagined. People that I knew that you knew, and people I had no idea that you knew. This world is a lot more beautiful of a place because of people like you. And all of you who are watching that have dealt with this awful, awful disease, we will continue to make this world a more beautiful place with this music inspired by all of your journeys. And know that this peace will be with this world forever, long after any of us. And it's really important that you realize this community, these people in here, how much they've rallied, how much the entire world rallies for all of you. Thank you all for watching this. Thank you to Dr. Bolstad. Thank you to the incredible JMU Wind Symphony. I knew it was great when I first made this ensemble, but I never knew it would be this great. And to all of you that have continued to support either Kelsey or people in your own family who are battling this, those of you who are courageously continuing on this journey, like Kelsey, we wish you Godspeed. We wish you all the best, and we will never, ever stop remembering this moment. So thank you all very much. I hope you never forget this for the rest of your lives. Those of you that